Hobbies. We have children. Next question.
When we were down to like 4 kids, then we had some hobbies. We used to like to hike and swim and board games and
Canoeing.
it's true.
Camping.
It was good. And pretty much anything outdoors. Lots of outdoors things. And yeah, we go to the gym, workout classes, and did indoor soccer, you do softball.
Yeah. Help with Little League Baseball. And I dabble as a musician.
Yeah. And
Some of you may have seen my work.
that's all I got.
And we like to read. Books, mostly. Sometimes magazines. Occasionally the back of the cereal box. Those types of things, you know. Typical reading. So 21 years ago, I went on a mission trip to Brazil, and on a rooftop in Rio de Janeiro, after working for 2 weeks with street children, I kind of asked God to show me His heart for these kids that we were working with. And I remember I was on this rooftop playing my guitar, worshiping God and looking up at the stars. It was a really clear night. Could see all the stars, and I just started praying for God to show me His heart for these kids. And then all of a sudden it started raining, and I really felt like God was just weeping over these children, and He started working in my heart, just building a spot for kids that needed parents. And so that was years before I met Cassie. And so lots of stuff happened in between then and the time that I met Cassie. But after we had been married a few years, and Cassie was convinced that I could not produce a girl, we talked about becoming foster parents. And it was something that was different for me. I didn't really know too much about foster care. But Cassie had a friend that was working in the foster care system, and so she asked a lot of questions, got a lot of information, and we decided to jump in and do it. And we had our own 2 boys at the time that were pretty young. So we started out just doing respite care, which is basically babysitting for other foster parents. And we did that for a while, and occasionally we'd have kids come for a weekend or a week or 2 weeks at a time. We had one little girl for about 5 months. And then Jaden came and stayed for a weekend, and that weekend turned into weeks and then months, and then eventually we were in the position where we could adopt Jaden, and so we did that, and along with that came his sister Ella, and so we adopted Ella and Jaden. They became permanent members of our family, and then we took a little bit of a break, and that's kind of our journey into the foster care system, where God has really been using us to be substitute parents in a way for these kids that need parents.
So we had 2 kids of our own. We adopted 2, and then once we adopted the 2, we realized that we wanted to help more sibling groups who would usually be split up. Jaden and Ella were split up for almost 2 years before they were finally put back together in our house. So we decided we wanted to help sibling groups. Our house at the time was really small, and they would only allow us to take in 1 more kid. So we decided to sell our house and try to get a bigger one to house sibling groups of foster kids. And someone from a church we used to go to was selling the house we're currently in. And with foster care, you have to have a very specific room set up. You have to be on the same floor as certain children with certain ages and special needs and all of that. And they were selling a house for a little bit more than we could afford. That was exactly what we needed in a cul-de-sac with a bunch of other kids. And so we wrote them a letter telling them what we wanted to do, and they actually lowered the price and sold it to us. which was awesome. And so since then, we've been in this house. We had a group of 2 boys, and they were here not too long, and then they moved, and we got Tyler and Noah, who we have now. And then while they were living with us, they've been with us just over 2 years. While they were living with us, their baby sister was born, who is Freya right here, and we took in Freya. So we currently have 7 kids, 4 permanent and 3 temporary, and that's kind of how we are going right now. We hope to help more sibling groups. Freya will probably be moving to a grandma, and Tyler and Noah to their dad. So we just hope through this we can help as many sibling groups and foster kids as possible.